This is the idea I want you to stick with for a minute. If I said you could be the highest paid brand and business in the world, it would just require you to spend the most on advertising. Would you do it if you had the money? Think about that. If I said you can have the highest paid business in the world, it would just cost you more advertising dollars than any other company. Would you do it if you had the funds? I would think most people would do it. I would do it. Why? Not only is it more profitable, obviously, right? Because you're doing it for a profit, but you're also getting all of the other clout and all of the other benefits that comes with being number one. That's what Amazon did. Amazon spent last year over $20 billion on just advertising, right? Most huge conglomerate businesses are not even making that in profit, and that's what they're spending on advertising each year. So I thought it was interesting when I looked at their numbers. I'm like, damn, they spending $20 billion on ads, but they're the number one company in the world. So it makes sense. They see Jeff. Now, I haven't had a conversation with Jeff Bezos yet, right? But I can imagine that he's running so many ads because it's profitable, right? Now, advertising can come in different shapes and forms, right? But he knows, like, yo, if we're running ads on all of these social media platforms, cool. We got affiliate marketers here. You're seeing Amazon billboards here. We're advertising Amazon on these different streaming platforms and on television and on billboards. And so they're spending a lot of money on advertising their business because they know the ROI that's going to come back. People, when they become customers and they shop from Amazon, they're not going to just do it one time. They're going to come back, and it's going to be recurring. You're going to have a lot of people who are doing Amazon Prime, right, and signing up for recurring subscriptions. So that's going to generate a profit. More people are going to be like, oh damn, I can be an affiliate for Amazon. So then that's going to generate more profit. So they know, they've done the numbers that said all I need to do is spend more money than any other company on advertising, and I'm going to make the most money back. And that's what they've done. So I thought it was so interesting, that piece of it. So what are some things that we can learn from Amazon? Number one, what we can learn, and this is, you don't have to be you don't have to be one of my 7-figure clients to leverage the things that Amazon is doing, right? So number one, what you want to focus on, and I've noticed that these large companies focus on, is they know who their buyers are. They know where to place their advertisements. A lot of times, we, especially as smaller businesses, we're hesitant to spend the money on advertising and marketing because it's like, well, I don't really know who I'm targeting, and you don't want to waste your money. But advertising is never a waste of money if you know what you're doing, if you know where to advertise, if you know what to say, if you know where to go, if you know who to target. It's not a waste of money, especially if you have a good product. Now that's the thing, right? If Amazon had a trash product, what would happen is more people would just know that the product is trash, right? That they're not a good online retailer. But for us, it's also important to make sure that we're focused on, okay, well, who we're targeting, and putting our messages, putting our products, putting our services, or putting our skill set. Because I work with a lot of folks who are like coaches, speakers, who are just experts. And what they're doing is they're really demonstrating their expertise, and it's that expertise that makes people say, damn, I want to work with this person. Or do they have digital courses, or can they coach me? Can they consult my company? Can they consult my team or my organization? And now they have the ability to generate sales and profits from that advertising. Or they can just do direct, right? They could go and have their products and services directly marketed or advertised on these different social media platforms, right? And that's really important because we need to focus on that. Now, I was having a conversation, with the young lady the other day, and she was like, no, I mean, this is great. She said, I understand it, but she said, I don't have the budget to do advertising. And one of the things that came to mind is like, wow, you like, you have a lot to learn because it doesn't cost that much. Most of us spend money on things that cost way less than your advertising. Most people are buying Starbucks every day or a couple times a week. Most people are buying out and eating out lunch that's costing anywhere between $5 and $25 a day, right? Most people are just spending money on frivolous things instead of spending that money on things that they really need, right? Most people waste easily anywhere between $500 and $1,000 miscellaneously every month, right? Where if I went back and I asked you, what did you spend? If I said, how much money you make each month? And I said, well, what did you spend your money on? I guarantee there's going to be a gap from the bills you say that you got to pay versus the amount of money that you make, right? And on average, it's about anywhere between $500 to $1,000 miscellaneous that people don't even know where the hell their funds went, right? So what if you took an extra $500 and you said, I'm going to use that to put towards advertising for my product or service? And what if that $500 yielded you $5,000, right? I work with a lot of people who are experts or have services, regardless of what it is, therapy, whatever, right? Services, business owners, doesn't matter, different services. If they spend $500 and they make $5,000, you like, that's a damn good result, right? I just got a 10x ROI on my money. We call it ROAS. ROAS, ROAS, that's return on ad spend. How much money did I spend on ads versus the amount of money that I made from the ad spend, right? So that's your ROAS. So most people, you know, they would get a return on their ad spend if they just spent it, but they think they got to spend these thousands and thousands of dollars on ads that they never even get started, right? Whether it's you doing it or whether you're hiring somebody like us, our agency, to be able to do it. At the end of the day, you want to run it, right? And so these big brands, these conglomerates, they know the importance of advertising. That's why the Super Bowl, that's why people go crazy over Super Bowl ads. That's why people advertising all the time. You listening to these podcasts. What are these brands doing, right? They're advertising on these podcasts. They're advertising on these social media platforms. They're advertising because, and that's just one form, right? But what they're doing is they're getting their products and their services and their skill sets more exposed to the market, even if what you're doing already works. Like I said, I have 7-figure clients right now that never ran ads. Everything they did was organic. Everything that they did was partnerships, and they busted their ass to do it, right? But even if they're making, even if they're making X amount of dollars per month, and adding paid advertising on it gave them an extra, 2x. Right? So instead of making X amount of dollars, or instead of making, 1.5 million a year, they went from 1.5 to 3 million a year because they put a couple of dollars into advertising. Wouldn't that be worth it? Especially if it's not any more work you need to do. Wouldn't that be worth it? Right? So these big companies, they understand that and they realize it, and this is why they dump so much money into it. So you want to focus on a couple things. One, we want to focus on how do you first targeting the right audience, getting your products and services in front of the right audience. Number two, you really want to focus on that messaging to that audience. What are you saying that's compelling enough to make them want to engage with what you're with your advertisement, so they want to take some type of action? And you want to have some type of mechanism that's going to be able to convert them into paying clients, whatever that is. If your services, a lot of times it's phone calls, a lot of times it's it could be like online forms, online payments, it could be email marketing. But you're going to have some type of conversion mechanism that turns folks who are interested in your product and services into paid, qualified buyers. And a lot of these big companies, they understand that and they realize it. And that's why they spend so much money. That's why they spend so many billions. Like Amazon spends twice as much as other companies each year in advertising. Right? 20 billion. That's a lot to be spending on advertising, but they know the return on it. That's why they spend so much. All right? So keep that in mind. Continue to work. Let this work for you. Like, start off. You can start on advertising literally like $5 a day, $10 a day. If you're working with us, I like to get results for folks quickly. So if you're working with us, I'm going to push you to do anywhere between $20 to $50 a day starting off. Now, I got folks that came to me and was like, yo, first month, how much you want to spend? They're like, $10K. I want to spend $10K a month on ads because they understand I like to work with people who already understand. I don't got to convince nobody that advertising works. It's been working way before I got and started my agency, and it's going to work way after I'm long dead and gone. So we already know the power of it. The question is, are you going to leverage it to get your products and services the exposure that it needs? That's the question. All right. And if you need some help with that, obviously you could come to us. So you could DM me, or you could drop something below, and just go ahead and put Facebook ads below, or just shoot me a DM that says Facebook ad details. And what I'll do is I'll get you on my calendar, and we'll put together a game plan and see if you'll once you apply, to see if you will fit to work with us, and we help you run your ads. All right.